Hello children, welcome to our final lesson of this final session of Social and Political Life Part 1. Our lesson name was Urban Livelihood, lesson number 9, Urban Livelihood. Children, in the last session, okay, we have seen the life of the people of cities. As it is said, city never sleeps. So why? Because people here, they are engaged in work throughout the day and even at night they work. So here in this in the last session we have seen about the life of the street hawkers, like more than 1 crore street vendors are there in India. Then previously this was banned by the government, but afterwards modifications were made and now the government is creating space for these hawkers, and that is why they have made hawking zones. Hawking zones means the place where these hawkers can move freely anywhere they want, and they have to be considered as a part of our community. Okay. So children, now we'll go further. Okay, we'll continue our lesson with the next concept, that is in the market. So here the two friends, okay, they are visiting the market. Now let's see what happens. Okay, so what they are finding in the market. When we reached the market, the shops were just beginning to open, but the place was already crowded because of the festival season. They reached early in the morning, okay children, to in the market, but still it was already crowded with the people. There were rows of shops selling the sweets, toys, utensils, electronic goods and many other items. Even there was a dentist clinic at one end. My cousin had an appointment with the dentist. So actually they went to the dentist. Her cousin was having an appointment with the dentist, so they came to visit the dentist. We went there first so that we would not miss our turn. Okay. So first they went to the dentist. We had to wait for a while in a room before she was called inside. The dentist examined her and asked her to come back the following day to get a cavity in her tooth filled. So she was told to come another day, next day, to fill the cavity in her tooth. My cousin was scared because she thought the process would be painful and was upset that she had allowed her teeth to go bad. From the dental clinic, she took me to a new garment showroom. Okay. Now from this dentist, they went to a garment showroom because I wanted to buy some ready-made clothes. The showroom had 3 floors. Each floor had different types of clothes. Each floor had different types of clothes. We went to the 3rd floor where clothes for girls were kept. So from the dentist, they visited to a garment showroom where they wanted to purchase the ready-made clothes. So here how was the showroom children? The showroom had 3 floors and each floor had different types of clothes, varieties of clothes. Then they went to the 3rd floor where the clothes for girls were kept. Now Harpreet and Vandana, business persons. Now we will see a case study, or we will see what these girls, okay, Harpreet and Vandana, they are the business persons and what they are doing and what they are telling. My father and uncle worked in a small shop. During festival times and on Sundays, my mother and I helped them in the shop. I started working there only after I completed my college. Harpreet. So who is saying these words? Harpreet. So what is Harpreet saying? She is saying that my father and uncle, they worked in a small shop, but during festivals, even me and my mother, we both help my father and uncle in the shop. And she has completed her college. Okay. So what she is saying again? We opened this showroom some years ago, means before they were having only a small shop, but afterwards they opened a big showroom. I am a dress designer. Okay, she is a dress designer. Our business has changed. These days people prefer to buy ready-made clothes rather than to have them stitched. The trend these days is for ready-made garments. You also need an attractive display for them, Vandana. So, here Vandana what she is saying ki we need to have an attractive display of this garment so that people will be attracted and they will come to purchase the clothes. For our showroom, we buy things from different places. Okay. So, what they are saying that for their showroom, they purchase the things, they purchase the clothes from different areas, different cities. We buy most of the materials from Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Ludhiana and Tripura. Some of the materials also come from Noida and Gurgaon, towns near Delhi. We get some dresses items from foreign countries too. So, what she is saying, the clothes for the garments for that showroom, they come from different cities like Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Ludhiana, even from Noida and Gurgaon. And some dress items also come from foreign countries. There are several things which we need to do to run this showroom properly. So, running a showroom, it is an expensive thing, children, okay. It requires a lot of planning, it requires a lot of investment. So, and again it requires advertisement. So, we advertise in various newspaper, okay, cinema theatres, televisions and radio channels. Currently, this building is rented, but soon we plan to buy it. So, what they are saying that currently their building, they have opened this showroom on rent, but again they are trying, but they are trying to purchase, they are trying to buy that building. Ever since this market has become the main market for people living in the surrounding apartments, our business has grown. We have been able to buy a car and book a flat in an apartment complex nearby. So, now they are able to buy a car, okay, and also an apartment. They have also booked an apartment, a flat in an apartment nearby. Like Harpreet and Vandana, there are many people who own shops in various markets of the city. These shops may be small or large and they sell different things. Most business persons manage their own shops or business. They are not employed by anyone, but they do employ a number of other workers as supervisors and helpers. So, these shopkeepers, most of the shopkeepers, they manage their own work. They are not employed under someone else, but they employ many workers in their shops to do the work. These are permanent shops that are given a license to do business by the municipal corporation. So, there are these shops are permanent shops which have been given license to do the business by the municipal corporation. The municipal corporation also decides on which day of the week the market has to remain closed. Okay. So, it is the work of the municipal corporation to decide which day it should remain closed. For example, the shops in the above market are closed on Wednesdays. This market also has small offices and shops that provide services such as banks, courier services and others. In the factory workshop area, okay, now we will see the conditions of the factory workshop. I wanted to have a zari work done on one of my dress, which I needed for a special occasion. My cousin said that she knew Nirmala, who works in the garment factory. Nirmala's neighbors do zari work and embroidery. So, we caught a bus and headed towards the factory area. So, now from the garment, first they visited to the dentist, then they went to the garment showroom to purchase the ready-made clothes, and now they are going to the factory. Okay. So Nirmala's neighbors, my cousin said that she knew Nirmala who works in the garment factory. So now they are going to the garment factory where they knew her neighbor called as Nirmala who works there. So Nirmala's neighbors do zari work and embroidery. So we caught a bus and they headed towards the factory area. The bus was really crowded. At every stop, more and more people got on and hardly anyone seemed to get off. So as they boarded the bus, they found that it was so much crowded. At every stop the people were getting in, okay, nobody seems to get off. People were pushing others to make more space for themselves, means it was the bus was so much crowded, they were just pushing each other to make space. My cousin guided me to a corner so that we wouldn't get squashed. I wondered how people travel like this every day. As the bus entered the factory area, people started getting off. We also got off soon at the crossing. What a relief that was. There were large number of people sitting on railings or in groups at the crossing. Okay. So what they have found now? They have found that number of people were sitting at the in groups at the crossing area. And what they saw? They saw that these people were waiting for someone. Some groups had people on scooters standing by and talking with them. My cousin explained that this place was called as Labor Chowk. Okay. So children, what is this Labor Chowk? So Labor Chowk, these were daily, what do you mean by Labor Chowk? So Labor Chowk means these were daily wage laborers who work as helpers to masons. They dig at construction sites, lift the loads or unload trucks in the market. They dig pipelines and telephone cables and also build roads. There are thousands of such casual workers in the city. See children, these people out they are sitting. Okay. So in the Labor Chowk, the daily workers, they sit like this, they stand, they wait for somebody who will give them some work of construction. The Labor Chowk daily wage workers wait with their tools for people to come and take them for the work. There are thousands of such casual workers in the city. Then we entered the factory area to find it full of small workshops. There seemed to endless rows of them. In one section, we saw people working in a small room on sewing machines where cloth was being stitched. One person operated one sewing machine. Clothes that had been stitched were stacked on one side of the room. So when they entered the factory, they saw that there were number of sewing machines and people there was a small room where sewing machines, where the clothes were being stitched. One person operated one sewing machine. Then they located Nirmala in the stitching unit. She was happy to meet my cousin and promised to get zari work done on my dress. Nirmala works as a tailor in the garment unit. The factory where she works makes summer clothes for the people in foreign countries like USA, UK, Germany and Netherlands. So the place where the factory where she is working, where Nirmala is working, they make the garments for the summer season for the foreign countries. Okay, people in the foreign countries like USA, UK, Germany and Netherlands. Workers like Nirmala have to work very long hours in the months from December to April. Okay children, so these workers they have to work for a long hours in the month of December to April. Then a normal working day begins at 9 AM and finishes only by 10 PM. So when they have to work from 9 AM in the morning and they have to complete their work by 10 PM. Sometimes even later. She works for 6 days a week, means only one day she gets holiday. At times when the work needs to be done urgently, she works on Sundays too. Okay. So when the work is when the work has to be done urgently, then she works even on the holidays. Nirmala is paid rupees 80 a day for 8 hours and rupees 40 extra for working late. Means daily she is paid 80 rupees to work for 8 hours. Okay, for 8 hours she is being paid 80 rupees a day, and again if she does some extra work, then she is paid 40 extra for working late. By June the work is over and the factory reduces its staff. So what she is saying now, by June, okay, the work completes, the work gets over, and then what the staff then what happens, the staff is reduced. Okay. So Nirmala will also be asked to leave. For about 3 to 4 months in a year, there is no work for her. So after when this work is completed, then the staff gets reduced. The factory owner, they remove the staff for some months, maybe for 3 to 4 months. So during this time, these workers, they don't have any work. Means it is same as the case in village. Okay, even the people of village, how they are employed for only 6 months, like from June to December they have the work, but again after December, near about 4 to 5 months, they don't have any work. They migrate from one place to another in search of work. So same thing is happening in the cities also. So here in this factory, in this garment factory, they are having whenever there is much work, they have to work extra, and they are also paid extra for that. But there are some months where they don't have any work and they have to live without any work. Now most workers like Nirmala are employed on what is known as casual basis. Means they are required to come as and when the employer needs them. So most of the workers, okay, in these cities, they work on the on what is known as casual basis. So casual basis means they are required to come whenever they are called, whenever there is work, okay, whenever they are called by the employer. They are employed when the employer gets large orders or during certain seasons. So whenever this employer gets large orders of the things, then they will call these workers, and at other times of the year they have to find some other work. So jobs like Nirmala's are not permanent. If workers complain about their pay or working conditions, they are asked to leave. Okay. There is no job security or protection if there is ill treatment. They are also expected to work very long hours. For example, in the cloth mill units, the workers work on day and night shifts, with each shift lasting 12 hours. Means children, jobs like Nirmala's, they are not permanent, okay, they are on temporary basis. Here, if workers complain about their pay, that they are asked to leave. There is no job security and no protection for their ill treatment. Means they don't get any medical facilities, and again they are also expected to work for long hours. For example, in the cloth mill units, the workers work on day and night shifts. Like in the mills, the work continues even day and throughout day and night. So here the workers, they work on shift duties, they have shift duties. So each shift is lasting for 12 hours. One worker works on one machine for 12 hours and then it is replaced by another on the same machine for the next 12 hours. In the office area, my aunt Sudha works as a marketing manager. She had asked us to reach. Now they are going to an office, okay, where her aunt works. So my aunt Sudha, she works as a marketing manager. She is a marketing manager. She has asked us to reach her office before 5:30 p.m. Why, children? Because sharp at 5:30 the office gets closed. So we thought we would get late, so we took an auto rickshaw that managed to get us there just in time. Her office was in an area surrounded by tall buildings. There were hundreds of people coming out. Some headed for the car park while others went towards the row of buses. My aunt is a marketing manager in a company which manufactures biscuits. So her aunt, she is a marketing manager, okay, where the biscuits are manufactured. The factory where the biscuits are made it outside the city. So the factory is located outside the city where the biscuits are made. Only her work is to supervise the work of 50 salespersons who travel to different parts of the city. So what is her work? Her auntie's work to supervise the 50 salespersons who work in the city, who goes to different parts of the city. Then they get the orders from the shopkeepers and they collect the payments from them. She has divided the city into 6 regions and once a week she meets the salespersons of each region. So she has divided her work, okay, she has divided the work region wise and once a week she meets these salespersons and she takes the follow up. She checks their progress report and discusses problems they face. She has to plan the sales in the entire city and often she has to work late to travel to different places. So her work is to planning the work, and she has to listen to the problems that are faced by these salespersons. For this work she gets a regular salary every month and she is a permanent worker with the company. So she is working with the company and she is a permanent worker there and she gets a regular salary, monthly salary she earns. She can expect her job to continue for a long period of time. So being a permanent worker, she also gets other benefits such as following. So she is a permanent worker, okay. So what other benefits she is getting? First of all, she is getting the regular income. Then she is also getting the savings for her old age, okay. A part of her salary is kept in a fund with the government. She will earn interest on these savings. When she retires from this job, she will get this money and she can then live on that. So a part of her salary, it is being saved in a fund, okay. Then when she gets retired, she will get this money back. So she is getting regular salary, then she is getting the savings for her old age, then again she is getting holidays, children, okay. So holidays she gets off on Sundays and national holidays. She also gets some days as annual leave. So all these benefits she is having being a permanent employee. She is getting holidays, then she gets some other days also as annual leave. Again, what other facilities she is getting? She is getting medical facilities for her family. Her company pays the medical expenses up to a certain amount for her and her family members, okay. So she is the company is also paying the medical expenses to a certain amount for her and for her family members. She gets medical leave if she falls ill and her salary is not cut if she takes this leave. Means she is having, there are some leaves kept aside for medical purposes, okay. If suppose a person feels, if a person is ill and if is not able to come to come for work, then their salary is not deducted, okay. There are many workers in the city who work in offices, factories and government departments where they are employed as regular and permanent workers. So in the cities there are many offices and factories and government departments where these people are employed on regular basis and they are getting their salaries regularly. They attend the same office or factory regularly. Okay, their work is clearly identified. They get a regular salary. Unlike casual workers, they will not be asked to leave if the factory does not have much work. Means though they have work or they are not having work, they are regularly employed. Whereas in casual workers, we have seen that he employs the workers only for a fixed period. Means if he is having more work, then only is employing the workers, and afterwards when the work is over, then again these workers they don't have any work, then again they have to go to some other place to work. And what are the benefits these people are getting, these permanent workers are getting? They are getting the regular salary every month, then they are having savings for their old age. Means a part of their salary is deducted and kept as a fund which they will be using at their old age. Again they are having holidays which they can enjoy like Sundays and other national holidays. Then they also have some annual leave. Again they are having medical facilities for their families, for themselves and for their family members. Then there are many workers in the cities who works in the offices, factories and government departments who are employed as regular and permanent workers. At the end of the day, we got into my aunt's car. So the day is getting over. Okay, they came early in the morning, and now the day is getting over. Now they are back to their home. So they got into their aunt's car. Exhausted means they were tired, but it had been so much fun, and I thought how interesting that so many people do so many different things in the city. Means all these things we usually don't find in the villages, children. Okay, so she was so excited and she was so happy to find so much different things in the city. They have probably never met each other, but it is their work that ties them together and helps to make up a city life. Means here the people, though they have not met each other, but because of their work, okay, it ties them together and helps them to make up the city life. So here your lesson gets over. Now we will just complete the table, children. Okay, so take a pencil, complete the table and discuss how their work is different. So now here some people's work is given. Okay, Bachchu Manjiha, Harpreet, Vandana, Nirmala and Sudha. Now we will see place of work. So where is Bachchu Manjiha works? He works in a place of work is near bus stop. Okay, then earnings ₹100 a day. Security of work, here he is not having any security. So you can write here no security. Again benefits received, none. He doesn't receive any benefit. Then work on their own or employed. So these people, Bachchu Manjiha, he is a rickshaw. He owns a rickshaw. So he works on his own. So work on their own. Then Harpreet and Vandana, place of work, they work in a ready-made garment showroom. Earnings near about 2 to 3 lakhs per month. Okay, here you can write 2 to 3 lakhs per month. Security of work, so they have a license to do their business. Then benefits, they get the profits and they work on their own. Then next one, Nirmala, she works in the garment factory. She earns 80 rupees per day, and again if she does an extra work she earns 40 rupees. Then security of work, no security. Benefits, here she doesn't receive any benefit. Okay, none. And she is employed in the mill. Last one is Sudha, she works in the company. Then she earns 30,000 per month. Again security of job is, yes, she has the job security. Then benefits, she receives the benefit, like she receives the same savings for her old age. Then she enjoys her holidays. Again, she gets the medical facilities for herself and for her family members. And last one is, she works on their own or employed, she is employed. So children, complete this table. We have discussed this table, and you can complete this table. Then hope you have understood this lesson very well. Read the lesson, go through this. Then so this was your final lesson. We'll meet you soon. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.